Welcome to Take 5, an inventory series, where we take 5 minutes to explore current events, industry trends, and what's making everyone pull their hair out at the moment. No doubt that, right now, sourcing personal protective equipment is at the front of mind for most procurement folks. It is for me. I'm Alex Diamond, and I asked inventory management executive Shane Pratt about the challenges facing those scrambling to find supplies wherever they can.
I think where the bigger challenge is when you have these middlemen that pop up, and you have no idea where they're sourcing it from, and that's really where you have to be careful. But some of the larger national or regional systems are really taking a look at these things, and there's various misfires. So there's all sorts of strange things happening in the supply chain. There's opportunism here. There's definitely some price gouging out there. There's some folks that are taking money to begin production. They create product and they are, potentially, selling it at a higher price once it's actually created, and whoever's offering the best price at a time gets the product. So that's definitely a dangerous thing. There is some unscrupulous practices out there in terms of price gouging and opportunism. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if there's a great way to say this is how you protect yourself from that. I think it's a little bit of the nature of this extraordinary time that we're in. The other thing that's really tough right now is there is a massive demand for logistics out of places like China. So if everybody's ordering PPE from the manufacturing companies in China, then there is a lot of demand for any of the major logistics companies. There's some conflict between the various federal governments and how are they dealing with other nations that are providing supply to them. And so I think the challenge is you've got people who are trying to make a buck, and then you have multiple levels of the system trying to engage them. So federal, state, and actual provider level all vying for the same product potentially. And there is really finite manufacturing capacity unless you start looking at the Defense Production Act and starting to turn other businesses into manufacturers of PPE or ventilators or whatever it might be.
Let's talk about that for a second. Suddenly you've got products that are usually provided by a manufacturer that specializes in medical products, but it's made and handled by people who aren't necessarily used to the stringent guidelines that come along with that. How do customers, whether it's the government or individual facilities, guarantee that the quality of these goods meets their standards?
Yeah, I don't think there is any real guaranteed answer in terms of what you're going to get from various manufacturers, because some of them are doing it for the first time. And we've got car manufacturers creating ventilators, right? And I think this was in Massachusetts specifically. There's several small business loans or incentives for manufacturers there to switch their businesses into creating more PPE. So whether it might be 3D printing, maybe somebody working more with textiles is going to go more in the direction of masks or face covers. So I think you got to be careful. You got to ask for the FDA certifications, any other certifications you can get your hands on. Try to get pictures of the product. If you can get samples of the product, that's even better. There is some notion of trial and error there, but I think there's a lot of folks with the best intentions up front.
That's this week's 5 Minutes. Join us next time on Take 5, where we tackle emergency preparedness. Take 5 is a production of Z5 Inventory. To see all of our sources and resources for this episode and more, visit z5inventory.com. That's the letter Z, the number 5, and the word inventory.com.